Right, we're starting on driver training. I'm going to do section 1 again because somehow or another I stuffed it up before. Section 1. This, by the way, this sheet of paper I've been using for over nearly 36 years. When I was 17, this was my driving test. And the same test sheet is used to this day for motorcycles and trucks in WA. It is the most relevant because every single line is a road rule. All these fancy dancers have been coming up with new fancy tests ever since, and nothing has ever been as good as this. They can't. Nothing wears against this. It's the best. I'll just go quickly before starting procedure. Look, if you can't start a car properly and know the procedure, then you shouldn't be in the bloody car. Before starting, make sure your seat's properly adjusted. Even the modern cars have got electric adjustments. So you turn the ignition on after you jump in the car and put your seatbelt on. Turn the ignition to the on position. Then you can play with all the electronic stuff. Get your radio off and all the toys off. Get your seat properly adjusted. Make sure your mirrors are adjusted and you know how to adjust them electronically on the outside and the centre mirror as well. Critical. You can't adjust the mirror while you're halfway through a test. It's not on. Not acceptable. Something simple here, door's not properly closed. It's not so much common nowadays because you've got a big light in the dash and buzzers that go off that tell you your door's not shut, but once upon a time, if your door wasn't shut and you go in a corner, the bastard next to you would fly out the bloody door. So make sure your door's shut. Obviously, there'll be a red light on the dash if not. Windscreen and windscreen's obscured. This is critical too. Your windows can't be dirty. Simple as that. You don't turn up for a bloody driving test with shit all over your window. And not only that, you can't have this blue sheen on the inside of the window. How many cars you got into and there's this blue smear on the inside and the sun shining through? Everyone should know that you should clean the inside of your car windows every few months because upholstery sweats and the carpet sweat and all the blue sheen, all that oil goes up onto the window on the inside. And if you run your finger down it some days on a frosty day, you can see a big line through that grease. It's all greasy shit. So make sure your windscreen's not obscured. It's so important. If you can't see where you're going, how the hell can you drive, you know? That's just common sense. And the next one, my favourite, seatbelts not fastened. Seatbelts have been in cars since 1967. I was 6 years old when seatbelts started going in cars. It became law in 68, 69 that you had to wear a seatbelt if it was in the car. If you're a fucking idiot and you won't wear a seatbelt because you're brought up with bloody seatbelts in the cars nowadays, you got to wear them. It's one of the most safest things you can ever do is put a seatbelt on. But there's idiots out there that still get caught to this day all over Australia for not wearing a bloody seatbelt. It's crazy. There's nothing that disturbs me more. It's so simple. It's not hard to do. You just put it on without thinking. It's like going to the toilet. You don't think about it. You just do, you know. Wear your seatbelt.